Give me the top 10 questions that someone might ask before their first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. Okay, number one, what should I wear? So for your first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, all you're gonna need is shorts and a t-shirt, or leggings and a t-shirt, whatever you'd wear to the gym, something comfortable that you can move around comfortably in. It's probably worth saying now that there's no shoes on the mat, and make sure you put your shoes on when you're stepping off the mat. This is a big thing in Jiu-Jitsu. We wanna keep it as germ-free as possible and keep those shoes and those germs off the mat and keep the mats nice and clean. Number two, do I need to be in shape? You do not need to be in shape for class. Trust me, you will get in shape from doing it. The best thing you can do is start now. Don't worry about getting fit for jiu-jitsu or whatever. You're going to get fit doing that. I know people that are in crazy shape that started jiu-jitsu and still gassed out when they started. It's just one of those things. You'll get over the tiredness and the adrenaline and everything, and you'll start to get fitter and move better as you do it. Number three, will I get hurt? No, you just need to remember to tap or verbally tap or tap your foot or tell the person that is hurting you if something hurts to stop, all right, and you won't get hurt. Yes, you can be injury prone if you go crazy to begin with, but a lot of people understand that you're a beginner, you're just starting, so they're going to look after you. And if you're training in the right kind of space, you shouldn't get hurt when you start. Just remember to go easy and tap often, and you should be fine. Number four, what should I expect? So expectations are huge. We build it up in our head, and often walking into a gym for the first time is the hardest part. So walk in, look for the instructor. Usually they'll be wearing a black belt or a higher belt. Maybe have a look on the website and familiarize yourself with who you're looking for when you get there. Message the page before or email or whatever, just so they know you're coming down. Walk in, introduce yourself. They'll probably tell you the rules of the gym there. If you haven't looked them up already, that's fine. And then you'll either get changed or you'll step onto the mats. Again, remember, no shoes on the mat. So number five, do I need to bring any gear? No, you don't need to bring anything, just yourself. You're not expected to have a gi yet, a belt yet, or really know what you're doing yet. Your first session should just be for you to see if jiu-jitsu is for you and you enjoy it. That's it. So just show up and expect to get involved and you'll be fine. Number six, how long does a BJJ class usually last? So this depends on the timetable, usually 60 to 90 minutes. Okay, there'll be a warm up. How long that warm up is depends on where you're training. Some people warm up for a while. Some people kind of warm up as they go. Then the instructor will show a technique. You'll go over that technique a few times with a partner, and then it's time for sparring or positional rounds depending on the class structure. That's like your average jiu-jitsu class structure. So it'll be warm up, drills and technique, and then sparring at the end. Just get down there and get involved. Number seven, is BJJ good for self-defense? I imagine this is probably one of the most Googled things about jiu-jitsu. Yes, it is amazing for self-defense. It's so good for learning how to use someone else's momentum against them. You're learning techniques from on your back with a standing opponent. You're learning how to get people to the ground, how to get up off the ground, and how to get control from the ground. So it's amazing for self-defense and arguably one of the best martial arts for self-defense. Number eight, what if I feel uncomfortable or overwhelmed? You will probably feel uncomfortable or overwhelmed at first, and it is our job as instructors to make you feel comfortable in the gym. But at any point in the class, if you feel uncomfortable or overwhelmed, you can tap, or if it's not from a submission or from rolling and you just want to take 5 minutes, you can literally just say, I'm just going to sit to the side for 5 minutes and watch. Again, the sparring, if you get involved in it and you're absolutely gassed and tired, you can always sit out and watch. At any point in the class, if you feel uncomfortable though, just tell the instructor, give yourself a minute and get back in. It can be a lot for some people at first, you're grabbing hold of people, but the main thing is to look after yourself. Just make sure you tell the instructor, because it is their job to keep an eye on you and make sure you're comfortable, and they need to know what's going on. Number nine, how do I tie my belt properly? Don't worry about that for now if it's your first session or first few classes. Once you've decided jiu-jitsu's for you and you're going down that rabbit hole, then you can learn how to tie your belt. You can ask your instructor. The way I learned to tie my belt was I found a video on YouTube and I stood there tying my belt 10 or 20 times until I got it, because it is quite confusing at first. But don't worry, no one expects you to know exactly what you're doing straight away, and no one expects you to be able to tie your belt yet. If you're a blue belt and you're asking how to tie your belt, then yeah, there's probably going to be some banter there. But if you've just started jiu-jitsu, don't worry too much. Number 10, how often should I train as a beginner? So that is going to depend on the individual, their lifestyle, their age, and their commitments. I would aim for 1 to 2 sessions a week to begin with. And then if you start enjoying it more and more and want to get down more, I'd add a class. But the worst thing you can do is try and get to every class you can in your first few weeks of jiu-jitsu, and then you injure yourself or you get put off and don't want to go back. So start off slow and then start to increase it from there. Some people, they'll be going 4 or 5 times a week. Some people are fine with 1 or 2 times a week. Again, that's going to depend on a few things with your lifestyle and you, but the main thing is this is your new hobby, so it has to work for you. Thank you guys. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments and I can get back to you that way. Feel free to like and engage with my other jiu-jitsu content. I've got loads out there and I've got even more coming for you. Really happy you've decided to get involved with jiu-jitsu. Hopefully I can be part of that journey with you. Cheers guys.